You've probably heard it a million times, right? To get the girl, you've got to chase her. Well, we're about to dig into why that piece of advice might just be fighting against 200,000 years of human biology and what actually works. It's a classic, and man, is it frustrating. You show more interest, you fire off more texts, you make your schedule wide open, and instead of bringing her closer, it feels like she's pulling away. You start thinking, was it something I said, something I did? But what if the reason is way, way older than you? So that feeling, it's totally real. But listen, it's not some personal failure on your part. It's a deep-seated biological response. You're not just up against some confusing modern dating rules. You're going head-to-head with ancient survival programming that's hardwired into our brains. And that leads us right into what we can call the chasing paradox. This is really the heart of the whole thing. Why the act of pursuit, which feels so instinctive, so often gets you the exact opposite of what you want. This quote really just cuts right to the bone, doesn't it? You gotta remember, in the world our ancestors lived in, a man's mission, whether it was hunting, protecting the tribe, finding resources, that was survival. Dropping that for anything, even a woman, sent a massive signal that he lacked focus and couldn't stand on his own 2 feet. And this right here is the key. What we see in a movie is this grand romantic gesture. The ancient subconscious part of the brain sees completely differently. It doesn't read that behavior as, wow, he must really like me. It reads it as, this guy's lost his way, which, in the language of survival, just translates to instability and risk. Okay, so to really get this, we have to understand the old school operating system that's still running in the background for all of us. It's time to decode this so-called ancient brain. Think of it like this. You've got your modern, conscious mind that knows about smartphones and social media. But running underneath all that is this prehistoric survival machine, this ancient brain, the limbic system. It couldn't care less about your witty texts. It cares about survival cues. We're talking about the exact same hardware our ancestors used to navigate a world filled with real, immediate danger. So this is its checklist. For literally hundreds of thousands of years, a woman's survival and the survival of her kids depended on her ability to instinctively pick up on these traits in a partner. Is he stable? Does he have a clear path? Can he take care of himself and by extension take care of others? It's like this subconscious safety check that's always running. So when a guy goes into full-on chase mode, he's basically broadcasting signals that are failing that ancient safety check. Big time. And this brings us right to the biology of neediness and why it's just so incredibly counterproductive. I mean, just look at the difference in the messages being sent here, all on a subconscious level. The chasing man is practically screaming volatility and risk, but the guy who's focused on his purpose, his signals are the complete opposite: self-sufficiency, discipline, stability. He comes across as a safe, valuable partner, and he does it without saying a word about it. And what's going on inside your own head when this is happening? Oh, it's total chaos. Your stress hormones are spiking, your brain's reward system is all over the place, and that logical, rational part of your brain, it literally takes a back seat. Your body is basically reacting like it's been kicked out of the tribe, which for our ancestors was a death sentence. That panicky feeling isn't love, it's a primal survival alarm going off. And here it is, the brutal, honest-to-goodness evolutionary truth. That urge you feel to double text, to ask for reassurance, to over-explain yourself, all of that is just you trying to calm down your own internal panic. But from her side, those are the exact behaviors that signal you can't handle pressure, that you're not anchored. It's a perfect, vicious cycle. Okay, so we've laid out the problem. We see why chasing backfires on a deep, biological level. So now, let's flip the script. This is where everything changes. Let's talk about the solution. And it's not some trick or a game you play. It's a fundamental shift in where you put your focus. It's all about the immense magnetic power of purpose. And the path here is actually pretty simple, though that doesn't always mean it's easy. It all starts when you put your focus back on your own mission, your work, your health, your craft, whatever it is. When you do that, it actually triggers a transformation in your biology. That, in turn, changes the signals you're sending out. And then something amazing happens. Attraction stops being this thing you have to chase. It just becomes a natural byproduct of who you are. When you're locked in on your path, your entire biology just aligns. Your hormones regulate. Your brain chemistry finds a healthy balance that's tied to your own wins, not somebody else's approval.
Your whole vibe, your presence becomes grounded. You start radiating this calm, contained energy, which is the absolute polar opposite of that needy panic.
So here's the bottom line. It all comes down to competence. The proven ability to handle your life, to build things, to create, to move forward with a sense of direction, that is the ultimate attractant. It is the master signal that tells that ancient brain, this man is a high-value, reliable partner. And that brings us to the final piece of this puzzle, the epic story that evolution itself has been writing for thousands and thousands of years. It's the story of the grounded, purpose-driven man. The end result of all this is something we can call presence. And I love this metaphor. It's like the modern version of the ancient campfire. Back then, the fire was the center of everything. It meant warmth, it meant safety, it was where the tribe gathered. A man with true presence has that exact same effect. People are just naturally drawn to his stability and warmth, not because he's out there seeking attention, but because he's already whole. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? A man on his path is perfectly in sync with the deepest story of survival and progress. He's safer, he's stronger, he's more predictable in all the ways that build trust, and yet he's more mysterious in the ways that build intrigue. He's the ideal that biology has been rooting for since the very beginning. And here it is, the logical chain, broken down nice and simple. Your purpose creates this magnetic energy. That mission makes you stable. Stability signals safety. And safety? Well, safety is the master key that unlocks attraction in that ancient instinctual part of the brain. It's a logic that isn't heard, it's felt. So, after all this, what is the great paradox that sits right at the very heart of attraction? What's the one truth that seems so completely backward, but is just so deeply wired into our DNA? And there you have it. The very moment you stop signaling that you need someone's approval just to survive is the moment you become truly worthy of it. By focusing on your own path, on your mission, you send the most powerful signal of all. I can survive without you. I can thrive without you. And because of that, I am worthy of you. That is the secret written deep in our biology. So walk your path.